I can't hear that.
Lego. Michael, your collar is a little off on the.
It's all right.
You gotta get that collar right. You know?
Hey, we got an awesome show for you today. You probably can't hear me on Facebook Live right now or YouTube Live right now.
We can hear you.
MichaelandJoy.com. Shout out to Power 1089.
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's Friday, shout it.
We's in here.
Y'all know what that means.
We made it.
We got some new music.
No, that's not what that means.
We got some new music coming out from the Yin Yang Twins. I don't know if you heard that new single. Yin Yang is back.
Yeah, about that.
Also, new music from David Banner. Now, David Banner could have a new record out.
David Banner could have a new record, but I also do know that one of the Shop Boys has a single that is releasing. His name is Meaty, and it's called Bowing Home.
Nice. Hey, we come back. Elam B. King is back. We got a whole bunch of people in the building
We still
today.
trying to understand a man.
Also, understand these side chicks too.
Uh-oh.
Bam! Michael and Joy in the morning. Sensation Station that.
Ooh.
Power 1089. Wake up!
Michael, you're going to have to start putting money in this jar every time you say that.
I know, right?
Because Michael's like, how many times you will say it? And he the only one. Oh, Coachella is this weekend.
Yeah, Shisha and Marcus are there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they left yesterday.
Check.
Lord.
Why I can't hear myself?
Marcus, I got questions. Keisha, we straight.
I don't even know what is that thing. Was it like a music festival?
Music festival.
Check. That is super duper.
I don't understand it, but
Check.
Homecoming on Friday.
Check.
oh, word.
So I can hear it. Elam, slide up some. Talking your mic.
Check.
Check 1 2 1 2 on the mic. Hey,
Talk again. Elam.
forgiveness.
What's up?
Hey, Sparkle Glam, how are you?
What's up?
Go ahead, Elam.
What
Check 1 2. Check.
Good morning, y'all.
Check.
Good morning, Tamika. Tamika, what's up? About this weekend, Tamika. Rolling Right, what's going on? Cassandra, what's going on? Natasha, what's going on? Will this internet's on my tablet, will it work, please?
You did it the same way as the other one, right?
Check. Why do y'all ain't got no sound?
Who, your mic?
You and me.
Was all of this plugged in?
What is it?
Michael and Joy. It's Michael and Joy.
Yes, sir. But that PTSD jumping in again, there we go.
You can't hear that sound that's coming out of that phone.
It's like, pop, pop, pop.
Right. You ain't even paying attention to it.
Glad you. Thank God we're not on air. Hey, Mac 4. Hello. Intern over here messing stuff up.
Shout out to my shirt.
You turned up on that logo, huh?
Check.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check. I can't hear nothing.
Michael, can you give E your card?
Check
Do you mind
1
going
2.
to get Clarissa?
Yeah, no problem.
Might have to wait for the password down there too.
Check.
There we
I
go.
can hear
She's there already.
I can't hear,
4% down there.
1 and 2.
Imagine that.
Check, 1 and 2. Check.
I can hear 3.
Check. I hit something.
Mm-hmm. When'd you do it? This morning?
Nah, I had it yesterday.
Technical difficulties.
So where's this going? This is actually.
La. Oh yes. I stopped. I didn't bring my book.
Yeah, I left mine downstairs. And I'm trying to figure out if I feel like going upstairs to my car and get it. It's a long walk.
It's a long, lonely walk to the car.
She's not downstairs.
Yeah,
right?
she is. Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's down there now? Oh, okay. I'm just sitting there chilling.
Check.
And then there is another, Patrice is the pastor, the side chick. See, she called and said that she was parking, so there should be 2 people down there. Oh, I just heard something go out, whatever you just did.
I'm just turning it off.
But it was never on, right?
That makes sense. I wonder if it's coming in.
Right.
I wonder if it's coming through there.
What up, Sam? They're like, what do you have to say? You're not saying anything.
I was gonna say, wait for it.
We're in technical difficulties right now.
No, we're just in a commercial with Elam.
Come up.
Busted your bubble.
Maybe I'll just go downstairs and get the guests.
I mean, I'll entertain them. Are you not entertained? Till you get back. Elam's like, actually, no, I'm okay. I don't trust you. Go ahead, dude.
Oh, let me go right here. I'll be back.
Check.
I don't hear you.
Check.
Yo.
That way.
Check. So what is different today than yesterday?
You were here last night.
What was different today than yesterday? Those 2 are working.
Sorry. Good morning, Mom.
That plug was in there. We can hear that. I can hear those 2, but I can't hear them. So, headphone power, this is not our headphones. Check. Check. None of those. Check. That is frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Check. Well, guess what? We're gonna pretend like we on air.
This isn't on back here. It's whatever the phantom is.
This one?
Uh-huh.
Talk.
Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2.
No. Check.
Talk.
Bam.
There it is.
Check 1 2.
Liam.
Alright, come on.
It's Michael and Joy. Thank you, sir. Hi.
Alright, come on in, y'all.
Come on. Good morning, how are
No plants today?
I got
Sure.
Don't call it a comeback.
I'm just gonna take a knee.
Hey Joe, hey Ma. You gonna have to close the door. Huh?
You want to swap us in and out? You want us to wait out there and then we come back in for okay, yeah.
Let's go say yeah, that works.
Thank you.
No problem, thank you, baby.
For seats, sir.
Oh, yeah, okay. Cool.
Thanks, Clarissa.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good to see you. Likewise.
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com. Today is Friday, the Friday the 13th, to be more Pacific.
Oh, yikes.
You know how you got them brothers that be saying Pacific.
All the
Nah,
time.
it's not Pacific, it's specific with an S.
With an
Hey,
S.
shout out to Elam B. King, he's back. We
Well
also
done.
got some other contestants waiting in the waiting area. I saw a meme last night that said, like, you know, Maury Povich is like 83 years old and Jerry Springs like 79, but they still be petty, so don't
All
give
day
me no
long.
hard time. What I was talking about?
Yes. I felt like you were like yelling in my face and in my
I
ear.
was doing the tigger.
If that's what you want,
I was
sure.
tiggering that thing. Not tigger be, boy. On the afternoon drive.
I was gonna say, we back in the basement.
Hey, shout out to the cops out in Argentina because there was an awesome story coming from Argentina. The mice ate the marijuana was an excuse more believable than your kid saying my dog ate my homework for authorities in Argentina when 8 police officers have been fired over the disappearance of about 1,200 pounds of marijuana. Wow. Now, police officers in Argentina argued that the missing drugs have been eaten by mice in a warehouse for impounded drugs. This is according to the Guardian reports. Some 13,222 pounds of marijuana had been registered there 2 years earlier, and investigators found that the total was more than a half a ton short. Forensics experts testified that it was very unlikely that even a large number of rodents could have consumed such large amounts of marijuana.
I was gonna say, that is way too much marijuana for mice to eat.
13,000 pounds.
13,000 pounds. They were high when they came up with the story.
You know what would have been? I would have had even registering that 13,000 pounds of weed. Man, we
I was
only
gonna say,
found
you know how
4 pounds of weed. It was only 4 pounds in there.
people's over there selling stuff on the corner.
It ain't but 5 nicks and all.
Man on the block.
But yeah, great excuse. The mice ate the weed. That is not going to happen at all. Elam B. King is back. Let me stop yelling. I forgot. We right here.
Good.
We don't have to do that anymore. My bad. Elam B. King is back. What up, bro?
What up? Good morning. Good morning.
Oh, Lord.
You doing all right today, man? Welcome back,
I
man.
appreciate it.
You
man.
enjoying the new digs?
Yeah, good luck.
Well, we're
like
moving on up.
I know, for real. This is. I mean, it's got an aroma to it, you know, like
Yeah,
that fresh
Oh,
paint.
it's Febreze, John. That we got plugged in at the bottom.
I was
That
gonna
is that.
say, yeah, you did. I was like, actually, let's unplug it now.
Did you really?
No, it's under the table. You
Oh.
don't see it. We're hiding it.
So you was trying to decide if it was gonna be hot or cold today?
Yeah, that's really what. Yeah, really. Like I'm burning up right now. I was figuring, am I gonna go in the bathroom and like change or what?
Just take it off right here, bro. Understanding the man.
Yeah.
Why not? Let the world see
It comes with it.
the sex symbol,
yeah, for
Elam
real.
B. King. Especially in that suit picture, boy.
I'm about to
Boy,
say,
Elam
look.
like this.
Yeah, buddy.
Go ahead, Joe,
Wait
hurry up.
till that cruise comes.
Hurry up, girl.
You're gonna be ready.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
That's actually exactly what he was probably thinking while we were doing a photo shoot.
I'm
Like,
like, okay, how do I do this? You know, I'm new to this.
I was
Bro,
about to
you
say,
ain't been doing conferences and stuff like that, man.
Yeah,
How's
man.
it been? How's it
Yeah,
been this
it's-
last month?
It's
I'm here
actually been a lot
working.
of fun. Yeah, I guess, and just the blessings just coming along. You know, I'll just get a phone call or somebody hit me on Instagram or Facebook. Hey, come here, you know, tomorrow. Actually, I'm going to be in Norfolk, VA. Shout out to VA.
757.
I'll be with Cabana
Okay, yeah.
and Nikki. They both came in on the show. And I don't think Keone came on here, but yeah. So we're doing something in Norfolk called Two Sides to the Truth. We're gonna have, you know, we're gonna speak on the domestic violence pieces. Cabana's gonna do, some inspirational pieces, and then at the end we're gonna do a panel discussion.
Good.
Nice.
What has been the most exciting? I'm not gonna say like most exciting, but just like a pinch me moment where the book came out and now all of a sudden I'm here, or I met this person, or I heard these words of wisdom.
Man, I think a pinch me was actually last week.
Okay.
And when I first was thinking about writing this, I wrote down a bunch of things that I wanted to happen. I said, I wanted to be on TV. And so funny, last week I ended up being on Kim McNair had her show Women on the Moon. Women on the Moon. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Kim.
I was gonna
say right, Kim.
Definitely helps.
And the funny thing is that because I've been doing so many radio, I thought that I was walking in to do a radio. So I was just like in just a regular outfit, and I walked in. I was like,
it was actually a production with lights.
Yeah, production lights or whatever, and so that's gonna air on Friday on the 20th. So that was a moment where I was in there just talking with her. I'm like, whoa.
You were like, I wasn't ready.
No, I wasn't.
You walked in thinking, I'm just going to do some radio, John, but then realized you're doing a big TV production. So you mean to tell me you had a tuxedo in the car?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, but I know how you roll, though.
He was like, actually,
I would have came a lot differently, and it's funny, when I was walking in there, these two other guys walking in, I'm just like, man, we about to just be on the radio. Why they got suits on? Oh, well, whatever. Let's keep going. And then they came back. I was like, Elam King, we're ready. And I walk in there, they open the door. I'm like, yo.
That's
camera.
Kim does it pretty big.
Shout out to you too, Elam B. King, man. As you know, we stay proud of you, man. And thank you for being a big supporter of Michael and Joy. We got a lot of work to do, man.
Yeah,
more TV for you, too.
Yeah.
More TV, more books.
And we're going to turn your book into a Tyler Perry movie. Hey, it's Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com. When we come back, side chicks in the building. Well, we're not going to do it like that, but it's MichaelandJoy.com.
Hey, so let me go.
Wake up, let's go.
I was just reading the shirt.
Let me be real with you. In the beginning, when I started,
I sent him the video, and he didn't listen to the words. Because
I was in a meeting, so I'm like, oh, the side chick meets understanding the man. We about to have a lot of fun over here. And then I heard the video. I was like, oh, it's inspirational. Okay.
He was like,
but no, it was good. But still, it threw me off. I was like, oh. And so I called Joy like, yo.
What up, D. Hurst? This is gonna be pretty interesting.
Side chicks in the building.
I was like, if you
a different level of side chick.
Decided you wanted to go live, you could always put your phone right here.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm recording on YouTube, so I'll send it to you so you'll have it.
Okay.
As well. So I'm like, who your service was? She actually can tell.
Oh, yeah. Right. Normally we can.
I'll be up there to Philly, E. Rochelle. That's right. I need to. Yeah. You know what? We need to talk. After this, we're gonna talk, because I haven't been to Philly, so I'm down.
I'm down. I couldn't find you. Are you on Facebook? No, you good.
Oh, so that means I gotta get my
What are you
share
on
of
Facebook?
women in the room.
Because I was looking for COLORWHIPPED.
No, thank you though.
Okay.
We just talked about
Facebook will be closed.
Okay.
I'll push my reviews.
Okay.
Why are you messing around? I'm really about to go take your shirt off. So.
Side chick, what's your name again?
Show me again.
Patrice.
Pastor Patrice, right?
Yes.
I'm about to be right back after these messages. It's hot.
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com. Elam B. King is back. Hey, had a little So I
had a little squirrel.
Yeah, the microphone wasn't working this morning, so we pushed through it. Shout out to Shout out to Clarissa for our plant too. We've been watering it daily.
I don't know whether or not you have to. I think it's just a weekly type deal, Michael.
We've been watering it daily.
You don't have to put too much.
I was trying to wink.
No.
I wasn't.
We all know you lying, Michael.
Hey, Elam B. King is back. Pastor, you ready?
I'm ready.
Super excited.
What's the word, Pastor?
What's the word?
Yes, ma'am. Well, not the word.
I was going to say, what's the word? What's
not
up,
that
Pastor?
word.
How are you?
I want you to start going into one of them sermons on us this morning.
I'll take you there.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Where are you from, Pastor Patrice?
I'm actually from Maryland.
What part of Maryland?
in the building.
Yes, sir.
County.
Fort
Washington.
Oh, you went to Fort Washington. Let me see if I can
Michael
get my
from DC.
if I can get my
Counties right?
No, I got my county right. PG County, Cobb County, same county. This is different states.
Clearly.
You went to Friendly High.
No, I didn't.
DeMatha High.
I didn't.
Okay.
Okay, never mind.
There's only two I remember.
My brother went to Friendly. I went to Suitland.
Suitland, I should have said Suitland. That's what I said. I don't even know why I said DeMatha though. That was the
Of
next
all
one.
places.
Yeah.
You mean
I actually
DeMatha?
went to Friendly for a hot minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up in Southeast DC.
Oh yeah, I hear it.
And they used to bus us from Oxon Hill all the way to Fort Washington, which is about a 20-minute drive to go to school. We're trying to get the blacks out in Fort Washington, I guess. I don't know.
I was gonna say, yeah, I could understand that.
How long you been in GA?
I've been here since 2007, so
Okay.
almost 11 years.
Nice. You missed those
So-
Freakniks, though.
Oh.
Good thing, Pastor.
I came after, yeah.
Okay.
I
It
missed
was like on
I missed
purpose.
it.
Your life would have been a little different.
A little bit different.
They would have caught you on one of them videotapes. You got a new book, Side Chicks,
Yes,
but
I do.
it's not really like a side chick.
Not
Yeah,
really.
not really. It comes from the principle that women, we were built from the side of a man. We were taken from his rib and built. So, and we stand beside our men to carry out the vision. So that's where we get the word side chick from.
Hey,
Ah,
I
side
like that,
chick.
huh,
I like
Elam?
that. I'm loving
I was
that.
gonna say,
No,
Elam
that's-
had a little. I mean, and let's just be honest. Was the title a little shock value?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
definitely.
I was gonna say it was funny because I sent Elam your video the other day, wanting him to kind of get some research on what you were going to be talking about because he has a book called Understanding a Man.
Okay.
And it was interesting because I loved the comment because it just shows where we are in social media. Because he was like, oh man, this is going to be an awesome conversation. And then he was like, hold up, Joy. I listened to the video later and I was like, it's going to still be an awesome conversation, but it's a little different take than what he was expecting.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
is super funny.
Writing the book, how much did you learn about yourself? And were you married at the time of writing?
Yeah.
How
I
much
was
did you
married.
learn about your marriage writing that book?
A lot, a whole lot. We actually just celebrated 9 years.
Congratulations.
Last Wednesday. Yes, so 9 fabulous years. But I actually started writing this about 2 years ago. And it just kind of lingered. I started, stopped. And then this past year I was able to finish. But I just learned a lot about why we're married. It's not all about just a fancy love story.
No, that's real. That's
She was
real.
like about that.
That's real.
Yeah, this is not Cinderella and Prince Charming. I mean, we have those moments, but this is real. This is real life. So,
How did y'all meet?
we met on Facebook.
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
For real?
love story. Yeah.
That's the first one that I've heard of. I've heard of, the matches and everything, whatever. I was going to say, truth be told, on the outside looking in, you guys do look like the Cinderella, the love story. Everything looks perfect.
Pastor Patrice. Facebook or Tinder. You can be honest with us. Ain't nobody listening. You swiped the wrong way, like, oh, he was cute. Go back.
That's funny.
Yeah, they are lost.
So speaking since we're talking social media and your husband, you and your husband been together, been married for 9 years. How did it happen? Like, did he poke you or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was way back in the beginning
Yeah.
of Facebook days. But no, he sent me a message. He sent me a message, and I read it, and I left it at that. I was actually in North Carolina at the time, so I saw that he was in Atlanta. So I was trying to finish school, and I was like, I'm gonna stay focused. So I read the message. He was actually in ministry at the time, so he gave me a little word.
She doesn't know word.
He watched
So
her
I
with
read
the
it.
word.
I was cordial. I think we need to not ignore every message because, some of those DMs, you never know what can come out of it. So,
Well, I hear that DC coming out
Right.
in your accent
She
right
said,
now.
looking all proper. She gave me a little word.
BT is in the
Yeah.
building and talking social media. Social media love does work, I see.
I have a slight different feeling about that, but it's good that
For their
did
story,
work.
yeah.
For your story, and I think that what has something to do with is where you were in life. You were more following your calling, and so I always say to people, while you're doing that, you're partner kind of gets sent along the journey. So that worked for you. So right now everybody's DM is blowing up because they think that's how it's going to work, but it's not going to work for everybody because you have to be where you're supposed to be, and then God will send you your partner.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about. The new book is called Side Chicks.
Side Chicks.
Married to the Visionary is the title. Author Pastor Patrice is hanging out with us today. Also, author Elam B. King, Understanding the Man, is in the building. And shout out to Rolando Rochelle, our friend Rolando. She decided to say, why don't y'all remove the poke button off of Facebook? Well, she got 9,768 pokes yesterday just because she requested them to remove it. So way to go, Ro. Hey, when we come back, it's more. Clarissa, we've been watering your plant, sis. I promise you. It's Michael Joy. Let's go.
She was like, that's why it's going to die. Just water it once, baby.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to say, look.
But it's holding on.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
I got it.
Yes.
Side Chicks Married to the Visionary.
I guarantee you got people right now thinking, oh, so I'm going to do it on Facebook. No, that's not going to work for you. That work for her.
Right.
Don't go poking people.
He didn't poke her no way. He
on
sent an actual message.
Yeah, or messaging people for nothing. That's not going to work for you. That worked for her. She was where she was supposed to be.
That's right.
And then God sent her.
He came along the journey and was scooped her up.
That's how it happens. Go where you're supposed to be, then your partner gets sent to you.
Right. Don't be desperate. Don't be thirsty.
Don't speak, Pastor.
Don't be desperate. Don't be thirsty.
Drink your water.
Drink
your water.
That's real.
I saw that movie with Taraji.
Oh, did you?
Oh, you good?
Was it good?
On break.
Kristen.
Okay.
Yeah.
CCMUA.
But I was actually just watching something last night from somebody sent me something on Facebook that Will Smith was talking about. You know that
Will Smith is
that fairy
hilarious
tale
on
dealing with
Instagram.
marriage and that how him and his wife were talking about how you expect somebody else to make you happy when you get married. You gotta be happy by yourself. That's what we're talking about.
What's the number?
What's the number for today? Time, like, stop talking about somebody else.
I was like, she over here running numbers.
You make yourself happy.
Exactly.
Well, why'd y'all get a divorce? He just didn't make me happy. No, that was really your fault. But okay.
You know, stop trying to spread some hope on that.
Hey, let's go with the lies. Okay. You sure you don't?
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com is the website. Yo, if you got a birthday today, happy birthday to you, because you share your birthday with some of these celebrities right here that I know personally, like my man Ty Dolla $ign. He's 33 years old.
What up, Ty?
I like Ty Dolla $ign. He's a cool kid, 33 years old. Also, actor Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman is one of those dudes that he plays in everything, but you don't know his name, but then you see his face. You're like, oh, yeah, that's Ron Perlman. Also, Al Green is celebrating his 72nd birthday today. And happy birthday to Hunter Pence. He's a baseball player, for those that don't know. And did you know that today was April 13th? AKA Friday the 13th.
AKA Friday the 13th. And it is also National Scrabble Day. It's observed annually on the 13th, originally named Lexico, and then crisscross words. Alfred Mosher Butts eventually settled on the name Scrabble, thank God. The amateur artist and unemployed architect developed the word game in the midst of his depression. Still, it wasn't until 1948, a final name change and a trademark, that Butts finally began to produce the game. I love playing Scrabble.
I do too, because I can spell words like cat and hat.
Yeah, that's about it.
And
Yeah,
I was gonna say, he don't get no points.
You playing that word, I tried that
Words
Words
with
with Friends
Friends.
app. Everybody, I be getting like 12 points. I was be crushing it with 73 points. I just deleted the app.
I was gonna say, if anybody's getting 73 points, they cheating.
Hey, call it what you want. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Elam B. King is in the building, author, Understanding the Man. Something that we were just talking about is that pastors' situation worked for them.
Exactly.
That is not you're not telling everybody to jump out there and start jumping in DMs and sending scriptures to them.
No.
Say, you know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. You have to. One of the secrets that exist that we don't think about. Yeah, we have the internet dating and all these different ways. Oh, I have to go meet here or be here in order to be around the right type of people so I can get with somebody. Here's the secret. Go do what you were called to do, and then you'll be sent somebody. Because if my name was God, I wouldn't send you a companion right now because you're not even doing what I called you to do. So take your talent and go bless the world with it because that's why it's in you, and then you'll be sent your partner.
Well,
where does this
it.
come from, Elam? We know the book and how the book was written and why the book was written, but some of our new listeners at Power 108.9 may not know how this started for you.
Okay. Actually, about 2 years ago as well, I went to a conference. Adrienne Bell was having a women's conference, and there I was a part of a panel. And in that room, there was about 100 women, and they were asking questions, and the title of it was "Understanding the Mind of a Man."
Okay.
And so for 1 hour, excuse me, for 1 hour, they were asking us questions, and at the end of that hour, the women were on the edge of their seats, just like wanting more. And the mean age in the room was probably like 45, and I'm like, okay, well, y'all should understand who we are, you know, y'all like 45.
Slow down.
And that was
Slow down.
I'm just saying you're more seasoned at that point. Yeah, you would hope.
Right.
And so there was also a book coach that was there, and so I had always thought to myself, oh, maybe I'll write a book one day. And so what I did was took that moment and I said, okay, well, what if we interviewed some men and then gave the ladies, you know, some information of how to not only get but keep us as well. And so I interviewed 24 men, married, single, divorced, and they're the type of men that, you know, you have a daughter, you want this man to be at your dinner table next to your daughter. And so
I read the book.
That's where it all came from.
So when you mentioned you were surprised at the fact that not many people understood, because like it's surprising today, like when whatever professions you're in, whether you're a real estate profession or mortgage profession, we still think that everybody knows the nooks and crannies of the, or at least the basics of the business. People still don't understand the basics of men and women.
And that right there is exactly the angle that we came from. These are the basics, and I think a lot of those have been missed when I would see some of my friends that, you know, they're out here shaking and moving, doing great things, but then they're struggling in the relationship area. And so, you know, matters of the heart are serious, and if you're going to you know, progress forward, I think a lot of people can be good, but until you're with somebody else, that's what allows you to be great, in my opinion, because two is better than one. And so this is just an opportunity to kind of help out the community and help those who want to, you know, get married. This kind of brings that together.
Elam B. King, Understanding the Man, author Pastor Patrice hanging out in the building. And Pastor Patrice, he made a comment about staying still, basically, and you know, finding out who you are and learning who you are. And I turned to page 82. That's the title of one of your jump right there, Unmovable. Talk about being unmovable.
Yeah, so that chapter is all about loyalty. And one thing that I found that is huge in a relationship is trust. So you have to let your mate, your spouse know that you're there for the long haul. Everything is not going to be peachy, but if they know that you'll be by their side no matter what, they know that you're unmovable, they know that you're loyal, they know they can trust you, then that makes all the difference in a relationship.
So, Pastor, you mean to tell me it's not going to be peachy? Because when I read all the books growing up, it said once upon a time, and then at the end of the book, it said they lived happily ever after.
Yeah, this is not a fairy tale. Yeah. Now, it's going to be good in the end, but you're going to go through some stuff. You're going to go through some stuff. And we certainly did in our first few years of marriage. I'm thinking, what did I get myself into? This is crazy. But you got to be there. You got to be committed to it, fully committed to it.
One of the things that I loved when I read your post is you were like, he had the vision of where he wanted to go, and it was just a matter of you guys syncing up to make it happen. And I hear that so often that men really are looking for that helpmate.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the things that the guys talk about in the book is that, you know, hey, look, I'm going to go out here, I'm going to shake and move and do my thing, and you can be great as well, but, you know, I'm looking for a helpmate. You know, don't step in front of me. Don't emasculate me. And I think that's something, that word emasculate, okay, is a big word that a lot of the strong, independent run into, whereas, you know, you're stepping on our toes, and we want you to be great. We're not intimidated as well, but then they just be doing
them alpha females. Don't sit down somewhere.
People are looking at the wife to determine the greatness of a man. The Bible explains it this way in 1 Corinthians 11:7. But guess what? I ain't about to read that verse. You can read it. Pick up your Bible, read it, or go buy the book Side Chicks Married to the Visionary. Pastor Patrice hanging out with us today. Also, Elam B. King is in the building. Christen, you up next, girl. We see that hair. Damn, looking like a Jolly Rancher over there. Sparkling joy.
I connected you to the Wi-Fi. So that you can go. Okay. What is the website that they can get the post?
PatriceMeadows.com.
Okay.
Pastor Patrice, can you switch out with Christen? We're gonna bring you back up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm about to go on the top this right here, but man,
Yeah, it's available on
I'm so
Amazon.
it's just great to hear what you speak like that. That if you could just like get that message all around the world, we definitely need to do something together.
Definitely.
Without a doubt. So
Definitely a collaboration.
oh, that's a
Yes.
collaboration all day.
Well, Elam, I try my best to put you in the presence of greatness.
I'm trying to tell you,
No,
just keep happening. I mean, look, hey,
I just want you to know that God is using me to bless your life. No, literally, we just met last week.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
word.
met because I spoke at their conference, the Create
Oh, the Create,
conference.
okay.
Mm-hmm. It was, and that was amazing. I'm like, this is.
You were awesome.
I'm about to say, hold up, but let's just.
it.
I was like, but hold up, how y'all get all these amazing people together?
God,
I said, girl, I can't wait for year 3.
Yes.
19.
She definitely needs to be on Kim's show too.
Oh, Kim McNair?
Yeah. Kim, I got a guest for you.
Bam! Come on, Kim.
Side chick.
Hey, Cyrus. Hey, LaShonda. You up next, LaShonda.
What up?
Michael and Joy in the morning. Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com.
Turn my
That's what
mic
happens
on.
when you have your headphones on. You can hear all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, did I yell again?
I mean, like I said, you in my face, and you also in my ear. So, it's like that boyfriend that you don't really want
No,
to.
let's not use that term.
I'm not
Let's
talking
start
about.
no
I'm not
rumors.
talking about you,
Oh.
clearly.
I'm just saying you can't
I'm
put
just
that-
saying. I'm not putting us. I'm just. If you let me finish my sentence, Daddy. I mean, you hear me? It's like when you like somebody, they just everywhere. They just everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like they in your ear, they in your head, they in your heart. You can't help it. They just
So
everywhere.
you, Joan,
But I clearly don't like you.
You, Joan, Tasha, and I, because every time we go on vacation,
Y'all
and
taking a
Tasha
tour.
is my wife, Tasha. Just FYI, you too, Christen. Tasha is my wife. Joy and I aren't
Yeah,
married.
clearly, not at all.
My wife and I, we've been married 21 years
Oh,
this
wow.
year, and every time we go out of town, we always do a tour.
I was gonna say
And Joy talks
no.
about it.
I talk about it because it's the funniest thing to me because they literally like tours. They went to Vegas and they went horseback riding, which is the cutest thing because you don't think of doing that when you go there. I mean, so I'm really like sideways hating because I'm just like, because I'm waiting for my man to take me horseback ride when we go to Vegas instead of to the slot machine.
Right.
Hello, guy, you hear me? But I think it's so cute because they do the randomest things. But I know that that's Tasha doing that, which is the cutest thing because Michael allows her to plan these tours and they be right up there like, oh, baby, there go Rocky House.
The horseback ride.
Red Mountain.
Elam, not now, baby.
Right.
No, I'm just talking about the.
So
the
the whole story though that we was getting to is that when we went to LA, obviously I did the TMZ tour. Well, guess what? So your boy got a call a text from the folks over at TMZ, and they asked me to be on an episode of TMZ Live.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
I was gonna say, they asked you, hater. I mean, it's Michael and Joy.
This Tuesday, your boy will be on
See,
TMZ
it's all about
Live.
you. All about you.
Yes.
All about you. See, that's
I'll
the reason why we couldn't even have been together.
I'll be there with
all he's
Harvey.
thinking about is himself.
I'll be there with Harvey Levin and the other brother with the dreads.
Congratulations.
And so they sit. No, here's the funny part.
The crew.
Here's the funny part though. So the lady said I'm gonna send you a text message about which conversation you can pick and we talk about, right?
Okay.
So I was like, bet, that'll work. And then it said Harvey and old boy will talk about the segment and then we'll bring you on live.
Okay.
And you got 10 seconds. I'm like,
It was like such a big build up.
I'm gonna have Power 108 now. I'm gonna have a joystick. gonna have truisms. I'm gonna have everything to promote right now.
You had a banner behind you. I was gonna say, but you know what? This is the main thing. You go up there, you kill it, and they're gonna have you up there more than once because Lily has done a couple of them as well too.
I'm good. I'm not a big gossipy guy.
I was gonna say it's not about gossip. It's just your opinion.
Well, that's TMZ. I'm gonna have an energy drink.
I was gonna say, look, I mean,
understand the man book.
I'm about to say he gonna have a shirt on. Just make sure you leave one.
Christen in the building today. Hey, Christen, good morning. You are very colorful today. Love the hair. Very bold move.
Come on, Color Whipped.
Thank you.
And let me ask, you manage a hotel, right?
No.
I'm just teasing you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Christen.
I'm 29. I'm from Atlanta. I'm the CEO of COLORWHIPPED.
Okay.
Here in Atlanta. I enjoy what I do, and of course I love color.
There you go.
So are you a hairstylist or are you a colorist? Which one would you say that you
I am
focus
both,
on?
and a makeup artist.
Okay.
Oh, you do it
So
all.
whatever
She
you
was
need,
like,
I
yeah, you got you.
Now you started it all saying I'm 29, like we was.
Well,
you
No,
up.
don't throw any shade. No.
No.
They tell you about me, so usually people say their age, where they're
Yeah,
from.
well, no,
okay.
she also was like, hold up, Elam is understanding the man, so he probably got some single men.
And
Are
that's
you
what
in a relationship?
I am.
Oh,
never mind.
See, that's what I was
Look,
going.
well, it's still somebody single over here. Hello.
That's what I was going. I thought you was doing like we was doing the dating game. And you would say, I'm 29, I'm a Capricorn, and I love long walks in the park.
Yeah.
I thought that's what
I wasn't going there.
She was like, nah, I'm
Now, where'd you
straight.
say you from originally?
Atlanta.
Atlanta? What
Atlanta.
high school?
Washington High.
Oh, you was at Washington High, shawty. Yeah, that Atlanta public school over there. That's what I'm talking
Shout out
about.
to APS.
How long has the color been the thing? When did this happen for you?
About a year now.
Okay.
It's like a year now. Somebody I was working with previously was like, "Wow, I didn't know you can color," and I was like, "Yeah, I can color." And so from there, it just took off. She was like, "We're doing color. You're about to do colors." Nobody knew I could really color as well. Because a lot of people are afraid to do color.
Of
They
course.
think it's too bold or too ghetto, but it's just how you wear it and what you do with it.
Now, you went to Washington High, so something tells me y'all used the Kool-Aid back in the day.
Actually, I've never done that.
Oh, okay, but you know what I'm talking about.
She
though.
was just like, I have seen
peroxide,
them,
but
girl.
I've never done that.
She put it
Yeah.
together quick.
What are the risks at doing colors? Because all colors don't work out on everybody, right?
They don't.
They
You
don't.
have to kind of know and pick and choose and play with it. Because I have to tell clients, no, that's not for you. And that's just honest. You know, some people cannot wear every color. So you have to just know what's best for your client.
I was gonna say, but the beautiful thing is that the relationship that you have between the client and the hairstylist, we have to be able to trust you. I mean, it's a serious relationship.
But you do have clients who don't listen.
Yeah, well,
And they feel like they're the stylist. You like, you know what, baby, whatever you feel, you're gonna rock with it.
right. Well,
And
here
they
go
come back.
another chair.
Yeah, or they'll come back and be like, oh, you said, no. They're like, okay, you right. You just let them be.
So let me ask you then, your expert advice, Dennis Schroeder, who plays for our Atlanta Hawks, he has the little blonde patch in his hair. Do you think I can rock that?
5, 4, 3.
I'm about to say, all of a sudden, crickets. I'm about to say, no, Kristen, you got that salt and pepper working perfectly.
Yeah, perfectly. I actually like it. I was trying to be cautious, but I like it. I love the salt and pepper. Yeah.
Thanks for being honest, because I was like in a midlife crisis moment, and I was about to blonde that thing up.
It was either that or another tattoo.
Yo, nah, no more tattoos. Them things hurt. Yeah.
I like the salt and pepper.
For those that want to reach out to you and experiment with Color Whip, where do they go?
They can follow me on IG at ColorWhipped, which is COLORWHIPPED_CEO.
There you go.
And also website www.colorwhipped.com.
There you go. Elam B. King in the
What up?
building. Elam B.
What up?
Entrepreneurs, women, stronger, bolder, vibrant. Does that scare men off?
No, it does not, and that's something that I want women to understand is that we're not scared of you. We love the greatness in you. I think that the word strong needs to be removed. Just the word woman represents strength by itself. Unfortunately, what comes with that nowadays, when you hear the word independent woman, right? There's a stigma that goes behind that, and then when we speak against it, it's like, okay, well, you're intimidated. No, we're not. Go be great. And we can be great together. So, I mean, shout out to you just for shaking the movement.
I was going to say, but Elam, being devil's advocate, not all men want you to be great, though, right?
Of course.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's 4 strong women in here, and we do recognize that, if you are a strong personality, that some men are intimidated by. So how do you figure out who is who?
I mean, that's going to come. The one thing that women have is the power of discernment, right? And I think that what the biggest piece in the beginning of that is having your expectations of what you want in a man.
Okay.
And as you do that, then you're able to see what you want.
Okay.
So sometimes people just go into this thing willy nilly and just want a companion and don't even
Right.
really know themselves. And then if you don't know yourself, then you can't even see what's supposed to come your way.
My question to you, and I kind of went through this.
And she started it off right?
Yeah, my question with you. How, at this point, I kind of don't know what I want in a man.
Okay.
I know how I want to be treated. I know I want someone to laugh and joke with. But when people ask me that, I can never give them a direct answer.
Okay.
Because I've had the issue with people saying, oh, you're too strong, or you don't need a man, blase, blase. But I've done so much for myself that when a man came, it was just like you have to either do more than what I already received. Am I wrong for that?
No, I think that I'm going to kind of dial it back, and I'm saying this as positive possible, so I want you to receive this. It's probably a moment where you're going to have to get to know yourself a little bit more. You've probably been out there shaking and moving and going so hard until there's more love and more understanding about yourself that you're able to do. That's the first piece. The second piece would be actually just, it seems simple, but write down exactly what you even think that you want in a man. That's why it says, write the vision and make it clear. So as you write that down, you're putting it out there. And you're basically asking God for this, and then that's how it can come back to you. Does that make sense? So that's, sometimes things are so simple, we miss it. We think there's got to be, this big Pythagorean theorem from a relationship perspective, but really, know yourself.
Yes, Pythagorean theorem. Come on, 8 plus 1 equals.
That's a little mathematics for you.
There you go. Hey, as we come back and define Pythagorean theorem, find out what the hell that means.
I was gonna say,
Elam B. King,
shout out to algebra.
understanding the man, color whipped in the building. We got great conversation going on. Sometimes I cheat. Perfect serve right there.
Oh, this is getting even better. Side chicks to sometimes I cheat.
So I'm just saying, I just love the way God put all this
For
together.
real.
Because we swapped out, because Jossie you weren't supposed to be today, you were supposed to be Wednesday, so we swapped you out. So, God be putting the plan to see how it works.
Hold on, you not the cupcake lady?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's an explanation for the shirt. Yeah, right. That is the explanation for the shirt.
But did you bring any cupcakes?
I did bring cake.
You have had enough sugar, Elam.
Yeah, no.
Kristen, can she sit right here real quick?
What if Kristen would have said no? No, she ain't
asked.
I walked in on the right time. I was like, oh, I wrote my letter to myself about what I want. I'm January. It's under my mattress.
That's right.
Why are you talking so loud, though?
Because I talk loud.
That's what you're supposed to say. Because you
Loud
talk
voice
loud.
accommodate
Hey,
my mom.
Calvin.
You want my chair?
Washington, hi.
Sure.
Bring in the joy. Hey,
I'm gonna do it. That was-
ATL.
And somebody that's actually,
Good morning,
somebody actually
Cyrus.
from Atlanta, in Atlanta, you
What?
know.
Some people they don't meet people.
No.
In there.
I'm one of the people that
I know Chris was doing that
The
great.
blue one.
No, north side.
you grew here, I flew here, you know. I mean, that's all right.
Jossie, what's the website?
Josie.
That's what I meant to say.
I'm excited about.
JociCakes.com.
Sometimes I cheat. I'm sitting here looking at her T-shirt like, okay.
Come on, shock value. Between these side chicks.
That's what I'm saying.
Sometimes I
This is a great
cheat.
moment.
When y'all when they take a photo together, that's gonna be funny.
I just gotta
Hey,
be in the
Mr.
middle.
Big,
You
how
got the
are
side
you?
chick and then the
And
understand
understand
the bad, and
and
then
sometimes
sometimes I cheat. That's gonna be great. We gotta take that photo. We gotta take that
I was
photo.
like, shout out to Brandon.
Michael and Joy in the morning.
Whoop, whoop.
MichaelAndJoy.com. Got a special announcement. Contest Power 108.9 is going to be doing over the weekend. I think everybody's going to like it. Yeah, it should be a super duper cool.
Yes, sir.
John got a busy Friday studio today for you. Elam B. King is in the building. Christen is in the building. My girl Pastor Patrice is in the building. All the way from that Suitland. Hey, Suitland was like going to Doug. They were kind of hood. They were kind of hood also up there.
You know that movie, that series came out of that whole entire show.
Which one?
What that series where they were putting people's bodies in the
no, that was The Wire.
The Wire came out of
Baltimore.
I was gonna say Maryland. It's the same state.
No, it's just about 2 hours away from Suitland. It's all good.
It's the same state.
14. Today is the 13th of April, 2018.
And on this day, it is National Blame Someone Else Day. It's always celebrated on the first Friday, the 13th of the year. A way to celebrate is self-explanatory in the name, and not much more needs to be said. If you do not want to blame someone, put the blame on something. Remember, it's all in fun.
Sometimes I cheat. It wasn't me. It was her. She made me do it.
She made me do it.
Don't take responsibility, right? Josie is in the building.
Yes,
What up, sis?
Yes.
How are you?
Yes.
I'm wonderful. Good morning, everyone. How you are?
Hold on. Let's do this one more time because your mic went on. Josie, hey, sometimes I cheat. How are you?
I am well. Good morning.
You bring a lot of energy in here. Beautiful smile,
Amen.
awesome hair, and a crazy t-shirt.
Yes.
For those that can't
Sometimes-
see the t-shirt, it reads, sometimes I cheat. So
yes,
is it like
sometimes
on
I cheat.
specific days that you cheat?
Well, you know, everybody got a cheat day.
Okay.
Everybody got a
So,
cheat
you
day.
know, you pick your cheat day, whatever works for you. But the purpose of my cheat day is for when you working out.
Oh, okay. I'm
Okay.
sitting here like,
Okay.
this about to go.
When you work out. So, you know, JociCakes, we make cakes. We're a bakery in Atlanta. We're based out of Tucker. And so our product is Cheat Eats. And it's for those who work out and who are fitness and diets. And it's for you to have a cake and enjoy, but it's low calorie. It's, you know, so you're not going overboard, you know, when you're eating and so forth.
So like
I love
the little
it.
small John.
It is a 5-ounce jar of ready-to-eat cake. So it's the equivalent of a large cupcake.
Okay, I got you. You been cooking, baking long?
I have been baking since I was 23.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Like
So
about
just
2
about
years.
2 years.
Yeah, like 2 and a
3 years.
half. About 2 and a
I
half.
got you. How did it start for you?
Actually, I'm self-taught,
Okay.
which is very interesting because nobody in my family bakes. We're all cooks, but nobody bakes. And so one day, this girl brought this red velvet cake. I'd never had red velvet cake. I was in Alabama, and I was like, "What is this red cake?
Okay, yeah.
I don't eat no red cake."
Exactly.
And so I tasted it, and I was like, "Okay, this is good. Let me tell your grandma I want the recipe." So when she gave it to me, I was, you know, tweaked some stuff and took it to a potluck at a different job. And everybody liked it. And they was like, "Well, can you make it for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll make it," you know. And I was like, "You buy it, I'll make it." And this one girl said, "Why don't you charge to make the cake?" And I was like, "Because I love making the cake." And she said, "No, love making money."
I was gonna say,
And
walk into
I
your
was
calling,
like,
girl.
there it go. And ever since then, I've been charging to make cake.
Nice. Congratulations to you. Now, do you? I hate to ask people this, but do you have a favorite?
I do have a favorite to bake and I have a favorite to eat.
Okay, we'll start with the favorite to bake.
My favorite to bake is key lime, which
Okay.
is my signature cake. And that's just because it's so easy for me to make.
Okay.
And it's like a wow factor because not many people have had it. Actually, I never had it till I moved to Georgia.
I was gonna say key lime.
Yeah,
It looks just like her hair.
Like her, it do look like her hair. A lot of people have had key lime pie, but not key lime cake. And being that I'm from Florida, I was like, who puts this in a cake?
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
Ooh, that's
I'm about to say he's so
Look at
hungry.
big boy over here.
It's real good. It's real good.
Now, your favorite to bake. What's
And
your
my
favorite
favorite to
eat?
bake is
No.
bread.
Favorite
To eat. My favorite to eat is German chocolate.
Oh, the German chocolate. Okay. Yeah. And actually today is National Peach Cobbler Day too.
I was
know
gonna
that
say
was
it's
on
national
the
whatever you got in that bag for us.
list. We're sure about to find
It's
that
National
out. We're
Key
sure
Lime
about to
Cheese
find that
Day.
out. Now, it's interesting because when you came in, you heard Mr. Elam B. King talking about understanding the man, and he mentioned something about writing down that ideal candidate, and you said something very interesting.
Yes.
What did you say?
I said I wrote my list on New Year's and stuck it underneath my mattress, so I sleep on it every
Amen.
night.
I know that's
Can we
right.
add you with some of them things that's on that list?
Yes, it is. Some of them things are to love me like God wants you to love me.
Oh,
Oh.
that's a good one.
To have unconditional love that matches my unconditional love.
You
Because you don't
single?
want-
Let me just make sure the man.
He was like, hold up, you can stop praying over this list,
This
right?
one is a real one right here. This one understands.
Okay, go ahead.
Unconditional love.
Unconditional love love that I have. I wanted to match mine because if it's greater than mine, I may not understand it and I may run you away.
Elam, this is crazy.
This
is crazy.
No,
I can't believe all
this
this.
moment.
Elam, let me ask you this question, man. When she says, the first thing she said, she talked about God and having a man love her the same way that God does. Can a relationship work when two people have two different thoughts on religion?
No, that's actually chapter 13 is the importance of spirituality in a relationship. And you have to be evenly yoked. That is important. And I think that when you are writing down number one, that needs to be the one on the top, from a spiritual perspective, based upon whoever your deity is, the correlations and the teachings that's in there, they have to match. I can't be going to the mosque and you going to, the church or whatever. You guys should be going to the same thing, because the principles that exist in there, normally, particularly when you get married, there's a intertwining that has to happen there. And if you have two different teachings, it's like you're a biology major and this one's an English major, and y'all are trying to do the same profession. That doesn't make sense.
I was going to say, Pastor, do you mind elaborating on that, Ms. Patrice?
Definitely, because even those two religions that you mentioned have two different ideas of the role of a man and a woman in a relationship. So if I'm getting two different teachings, I have two different ideas of what I'm supposed to be doing. Am I supposed to be submitting or am I supposed to be leading? And that's an issue right there.
Could you find yourself, let's say, Prince Harry came and scooped you up? You know what I'm saying?
I'm listening to see where it's going.
Could it work for you or no?
I can say I tried it.
Okay.
I dated a guy who was Muslim, and although it taught me how to be more submissive and understanding from the Islamic faith standpoint, it didn't work because I felt like he was anti-Jesus. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so you can have your religion and go the way that you want to go, but you still have to respect my religion. And so if you're all like, I don't need no Jesus did it, that's not gonna work.
That's good.
Pastor Patrice, we talk about the word submissive, and you mentioned that, during your courtship and the time that you've been with your husband, when we throw that word submissive out, I always feels like that has to be earned by the woman. Were there points where you was like, I hubby, it ain't gonna go down like that?
Yeah, and see, when we say submissive, that's not a negative thing. That doesn't mean slave.
Right. One more time.
I'm not saying, what you want me to do, master? No.
Right.
To submit means I have my own opinion, I have my own ideas, but when it comes at the end of the day, I can say, okay, let's do it your way, let's try this out. And then sometimes it goes back and forth.
And that's the thing about it, Elam, is that we don't understand the definition of what submission is.
Oh my goodness.
Submissiveness.
I've been at weddings where when you hear that portion, when the words are spoken out, and then you hear, what's that? You know what I'm saying? Okay, when you're single, you can go be strong and all that. But once you move over into marriage, there's a level of humility that you have to have, period. Right. And also on the man's side, we have to have that as well. So we're submitting to God. You're submitting to us. So everybody's submitting here. Yeah. It's not easy to submit to God, particularly for men. Why you think you don't see mostly men in church? Because we have to submit to the will of God, to an authority, and follow some instructions. Well, guess what? Same thing for you.
Hey, Michael and Joy.
There is a difference between submissive and subservient.
Yeah. Hey, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, it's Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com is the website. Hey, it seemed like Elam B. King was very submissive to that undershirt he had on.
Yeah, I had to switch that up. I was getting hot.
We come back and more. Michael and Joy. MichaelandJoy.com. Power 1089. Wake up.
It's so crazy. Both of your t-shirts and both of yours, you would think it's something different, and y'all coming from a completely different angle.
You come here with me. Get into this conversation.
Woo! Hey, Cassie.
Pretty her over there.
Ooh, that looks great.
Hey. Hey,
she doesn't even know. I'm sitting here like shit, What on that?
I want you to embrace it. Just touch it a little bit. Just fondle it. 230 calories.
I was about to ask you how many calories.
And 0 trans fat.
She eats, y'all. She got the key lime in the. That's all the effervescence and goodness down there.
Not effervescence.
That's effervescence.
Elam spell it.
Effort and vessels.
Without
the H.
You want your popcorn?
Wow. And what's
No,
that
no,
at the top? Like
never mind,
some
never mind. I'm sorry.
buttercream.
That is cream cheese.
Oh, that's the best ice.
Ah, yes. I know. I
Yeah,
just,
look,
put
check
that,
out
I
the
just
top.
ate all of that.
Yeah.
That's the best ice.
Hey,
I mean,
Calvin.
from top to bottom, and that's 230
Calvin, say hi to
calories.
Pastor Patrice. Hey, Atreyu.
So you can have like 2 of them and
Single
still
tonight.
okay.
I mean, but don't.
But
I'm
don't.
not really a sweet
I mean,
person.
maybe one in the morning and one at night.
Yeah.
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com. We back.
Whoop whoop.
Why you trying to steal my cupcake?
Ah, he was like, look, give me.
Washington,
I was like, we fight over food in here.
Washington High. That's how it is. Hey, Elam B. King is
Well.
hanging out with us today. Also, Miss Josie. I got it right.
Hey,
Yeah, like the
Josie
Pussycat.
Cakes.
Josie and the Pussycat. Josie hanging out with us. Pastor Side Chick is in the building. No, that's not her name.
Pastor Patrice.
Pastor Patrice is in the building. And of course, our man Elam B. King. So last night I've been getting my Sam broadcast on. So y'all know we are starting a new network up here. So everything we are learning on the fly. We self-taught basically. All the decorations were done by my personal interior decorator.
Tasha.
Yeah,
It's looking
my
good
wife.
up in
Yeah,
here,
she
too.
did that. And then so now we just hired a new staff member.
Don't say his title.
Eddie is the director of production engineering.
Yes, Eddie. Come
When-
on with the title, Eddie.
When you're 23 years old, you're like, oh, okay, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Director of
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
That's how they
I
did
was
me in the
gonna
business
say,
back
yes,
in the day.
sir.
So last night I came and picked up the button. Let me see if some of these buttons work. Oh, it did work. I did hear something. Did I?
I heard the clap.
Oh, did you for real? Okay, whatever. I didn't hear that. It worked last night.
I was gonna say, you ain't hear the clap.
But we got an awesome show for you today. Elam B. King is in the building. Christen is hanging out behind me as well. Color Whip and Christen, we hit on something about relationships and religion that you wanted to dive into because you and your significant other kind of don't see on the same page, right?
That's correct. We don't. No, we don't. We don't see eye to eye. It's a competition. But however, New Year's, I said I wanted to go to church. He went with me. But I was like, can we go Easter? He was like, look, I don't really do all that.
He
So-
was like,
I
it
don't
was
eat-
either
You
Easter
pushing it,
or
you
Christmas.
just- Yeah, you pushing it. So when you guys speak about that, it's very important to me, and he doesn't really know that. But I see he took the initiative for New Year's, so I kind of try to work with it.
You giving them excuses? Are you giving them excuses?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay, all right.
How long have you guys been together?
Officially since about Christmas.
Oh, oh, so y'all just got
Yeah,
together.
we just got together. We met in October.
How to make it work, Elam?
Date girl.
I look now, because if it don't work out, he ain't coming for me.
I'm about to say,
read the
look. Date. Stacey J has a good book out called Date Girl, and she just talks about how women should date multiple men. I'm single right now, and
So you dating multiple men?
I am because I want to. When I find the right one, I want to know he's the right one. You know what I'm
That's the
saying?
thing.
And one of the things for me is religion is a non-negotiable.
That's right.
Not I want to go to church. Wake up just because she going. I want him to really feel like he needs to be there because I need to be led, and I can't be led by somebody going in the opposite direction of me.
And I think
So
one of the other things I just want you to keep in mind is that particularly once you move, are you looking to aspire to get married?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so there are a plethora of things that you automatically run into just from being married, and so that's almost like a barrier that you don't already want to create within that companionship. Is that you have religion already standing in between you. It's already standing in between you, so you need to understand that. So that's just something to keep in mind.
you don't want that to already be there because for me, I've made a lot of excuses for men to allow them to stay in my life when in all actuality I needed to just kind of like exit them out. Because they had already exited themselves out because it wasn't what I had already wanted for me. You know what I'm saying?
Elam B. King, the book is live and ready to go, man. People can cop that thing anytime,
Whoop,
can't they?
Absolutely. You can go to Amazon or Kindle. The audiobook is on the way. And you can also go to understandingaman.com and click on the buy now button.
Hey, since we're talking about food and snacks, Cheat Eats is in the building with us today. Love the shirt. Sometimes I cheat. Ketchup maker Heinz is introducing a new product to America. It's called Mayo Chup. It's a combination of mayonnaise and ketchup. And we'll talk about it in a tweet from Heinz on Wednesday, but people from Utahans, I think that's what they call it, said that they've been doing this for generations. So I think people in Utah have always been combining the mayo and the ketchup for like a French fry dip that they use it for.
They do it in Germany too.
In Germany as well. So who was that? Heinz said, you know what? We're gonna put our own product out there and do the mayo.
Y'all gonna add hot sauce to it.
Oh, so say
You guys are gonna add hot sauce to it. You know she probably got some more
Hot sauce in her curry.
Come on, how they gonna add some cheese eggs up there this morning? They look real pretty down here.
Give it a couple years, they'll have a whole nother thing coming out. They'll add too much to it.
Hey, when we come back, we're gonna do our test taste of some of this key lime. Yeah, anybody got some spoon? We got spoon?
Nah, just use your fingers.
I can do that. Spike of the joy.
Whoop whoop.
Why?
I'm about to say, don't mess around. I probably do.
But I thought that was already something when you add mayonnaise and ketchup. But that was like hollandaise or something. It's something that's already.
Sometimes I cheat.
I don't know. I was just joking. I said I probably got some in my purse and on me as much as I be stealing from places.
We're gonna plug.
I mean, just taking it because I already paid for it. You know. Patrice.
And then you stay right here.
Hey, the only show. What up, the crush? How are you? Hey, 108.
The cream
Hey,
cheese on the
KB.
top, y'all, with the brown sugar cinnamon. What?
You know, you don't do that.
No, okay. I
You
don't.
add calories.
Yeah, okay. So what is that?
That's the crust.
That's
the
the
bottom.
effervescence. I did say
That's
that
the
though.
crust.
The effervescence is on the bottom. Okay, with the cream. That man, this looks amazing.
About to say, look, that's a collab, Keisha and.
Where can they get these?
They can get them at shopjocicakes.com.
Oh, come on, shop.
JociCakes.com.
I didn't
All
know
things
that.
you get a I cheat t-shirt, but I'm not responsible for that head busting that might come along with that thing. She said.
Do you have the German chocolate one like this? I mean, is this the only one that you
right
have?
now, that's what I have
Okay.
because it fits into the dynamic of the calorie count.
Okay.
But we do have Joci jars, and Joci jars is a larger portion of all the cakes that I provide.
That's 500 calories.
Yeah, that's about 800. He said that about
Don't eat anything
You
else
can have
that
to eat
day.
that and an apple and be done with it. You gonna have to eat that and walk to right. Jog around this SunTrust park. Come on, thing like amazing.
Yo,
This is amazing.
it's Patrice, right?
Yes, Patrice.
My mind is racing over here of things that we can do together.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, Elam got a boat ride coming up for couples. Go ahead and get in on that.
Yeah,
They
shout out
need
to
EK,
Find Her,
couples
Keep
EK.
Him.
Hey, Clark Productions.
Shout out to
Hey,
Couples EK.
Yep. At the Find Her, Keep Him
KCRD.
retreat, we're gonna have the cheat.
the twins.
We're gonna have the
Hey,
why sometimes I cheat workshop where we will serve the key lime with the effervescence. Okay. And then we're gonna discuss the loyalty of the side chicks. Okay.
All while streaming using a joystick.
BL. And then in the background you'll be able to get your color. All right.
And makeup
color
done.
with and makeup.
You can
That's
get
what's
some
up.
makeup done.
For the event.
There
For the
you go.
event. That is a woo.
Won't he do it?
Willie won't.
All while streaming on the joystick. How about that?
Yes, literally. Yes. Walk right on into that.
Oh, man.
Black women wear t-shirts.
I'm walking beside my man.
Mhm.
Come on now. Beside
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com. We back. Shout out to Bill Gates and Angelina Jolie. They have been named the most admirable men and women in the world. Now, the tech mogul and the actress turned humanitarian have topped the list, compiled by YouGov.com, which is a market research company based out in London. Since they do have a male and female category, they started doing that back in 2015. But both beat out several influential leaders, such as President Barack Obama, First Lady Michelle Obama, Oprah Winfrey, and even the Dalai Lama. Now, the list of 20 men and 20 women who've been selected after 37,000 people polled in 35 different countries. So Bill Gates and Angelina Jolie, some
So
of the most popular personalities in the world. So, or admired, let me say that, most admired.
I need to see if there's any color on that list. About to say, because they just knocked out 4 people with color. I'm like,
They really
look,
did.
the Dalai Lama matched me.
Black. Need not apply. Need not apply.
Good Lord, you are so messy.
Josie and the Pussycats in the building with us today. Today, the 13th of April, 2018.
And on this day in 1964, Sidney A. Poitier became the first black to win an Oscar for Best Actor. It was for his role in the movies Lilies of the Field, which I love that book, side note, and it was a really, really great movie.
I'm mad because Morgan Freeman taking all of Sidney Poitier's roles.
I was going to say, well, about that.
Sidney Poitier is supposed to be the president.
I was like, yeah, well.
Oh, well. But yeah, congratulations.
I was going to say about that. But he led the way, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
he did.
let's not forget that. The first black to win an Oscar.
No, he won Best Male. Hattie McDaniel was the first African American. She won it.
That's what I said. You ain't hear me.
Gone with the Wind back in 1955-ish.
It was very
something
specific.
Like that. And I saw her, well, maybe I not need to say this.
I was gonna
her
say,
star
not
on the
out,
Hollywood
not
Walk of Fame,
out.
because I was doing
Because
that
you
part.
was, yeah.
Elam B. King is hanging out with us today. Josie,
About that
a.k.a.
tour.
Josie. Sometimes I cheat. I'm about to cheat
Woo,
today
woo.
with these cheat eats. This is the key lime, and this is the packaging.
Yes, that is
right?
the packaging
Yes.
that we have right now. So you gotta always have room for upgrade. But the purpose of the cheat eats is, as you see, it has the muscle
Yes.
and then the cake, so that symbolizes. It's kind of early.
And you said specifically there is a calorie count.
Yes,
in
there is
each-
230 calories in the 5-ounce jar, and it has 0 grams trans fat.
And how can we get these pretty?
You can get them from shopJociCakes.com. They
Yeah.
are available. We have a 5-day turnaround. They ship directly to you.
Nice.
Even though we are located, my business is basically online.
Okay,
It's an online
that's
business.
fine. Yeah.
She was like, ain't no pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
We'll
fine.
ship them right on out to
No,
you.
that's
Ship them
perfect.
out to you.
That's perfect.
And there, you can freeze them, so you can order it in bulk and then freeze them for later.
How long you gotta sit that thing out before when you pull it out the
Well,
freezer?
people like cold cake, but I prefer room temperature.
Yeah, I'm room
So
temperature.
about 3 hours.
Okay.
Well, that's what I'm
Some
talking
people
about.
like
So
cold cake.
congratulations to you,
Thank you,
sis.
thank you,
We
thank
really
you.
appreciate it. Don't go away because we definitely gonna taste this. Hey, speaking of businesses,
Whoop, whoop.
like Cheat Eats, Power 1089 has decided to do a contest.
Okay,
We're going to do
tell
a
me about
contest
it.
for business owners. And what we're going to do, and we'll have all the information up on the website. If you have a business and you want to do an ad on Michael and Joy specifically, what we want you to do, I'm sorry, specifically, what we want you to do is write a letter or email, 108 words or less, telling us why your business should be sponsored on Michael and Joy. And what we're going to do is we will let you come in, record you a 60-second commercial, and we will run that commercial for the next 30 days or so. No cost at all. So all you got to do is go to or email us at what's the website, Joe? What's the email?
At the Power 1089
thepower1089.com
at Gmail.
Send us,
Slow
yeah,
down,
oh
slow
yeah.
down. The Power 1089 at gmail.com.
gmail.com. Email us 108 words or less. We're gonna put that word count jump on that thing, boy.
That's like 2 sentences.
Yeah.
You gotta come with it.
Yeah, exactly. Tell us
I was
why.
gonna say it's 2 sentences if you don't have a period. 108 words is a lot.
And the way I read, please separate them lines too, boy. Because if it's all bunched up in one big paragraph, that's how they used to do it at Washington High.
So send an email 108 words or less on why your business should be advertised with Michael and Joy to the power1089 at gmail.com. Let there be light.
Let there be light. Hey, Side Chicks author Patrice Meadows, Pastor Patrice Meadows is in the building. Side Chicks, the book, Married to the Visionary. Best advice that you can give some of our sisters out here listening today.
Don't settle. Don't settle. Don't
Settle free.
The one for you is out there. You got to be comfortable in your own skin. You got to be confident that What you want is out there. So to you, don't settle. You know, you have those expectations. Once you write your list, once you know what's really important to you, just wait on it.
That's what I'm talking about. And how can people get a copy of the book?
It's available on Amazon, so you can go to Amazon and have it shipped to you, or you can go to my website, patricemeadows.com.
Hey, Chris, if people are on our social media feed right now saying, what's up, you dating multiple men now or what?
She was like, what about that?
You weren't ready for that one.
Have a blessed day.
Chris, for those folks that want to come hang out with you and test some colors, Color Whip, how can they do that?
You can follow me on social media, Instagram at COLORWHIPPED_CEO and www.colorwhip.com.
Hey, yes! Okay!
I was like, is that my phone?
I hope not. I hope not.
Chris, I don't know if it was the hair or the Chief Eats, but I smell key lime somewhere. Rocket, girl. That's what I'm talking about. And Elam B. King is in the building. First day back with us after almost 30 days of being off the air. Elam B. King, congratulations on the book, man, and continue to put the word out there about understanding the man. And we had a plethora.
A plethora.
Plethora.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
that
the
accent
R.
at the end.
I'm trying to put a German spin on it.
No, that's not what that was.
Italian spin.
Nah.
One of those spins. But we had a lot of different views of relationships today.
This morning,
Can you sum it up for us?
I think Patrice just said it best. Is that but understanding that word settle. If you understand actually yourself first and know how to love yourself, then actually you can be loved. And it's very encouraging to hear the words coming from you, from Josie as well, because it lets us know that there are some women out there shaking and moving, doing their thing, but they understand and are okay with walking alongside a man instead of some of the other things that's going on out there.
Well, the crazy part about it, like, the game has changed so much. Like, I've been out of the game for so long, and things, we're talking 20 plus years for me. It seems like things change like every 3 to 5 years as it pertains to relationships and stuff like that. How do you keep up?
I think that at the end of the day, it's the dogma and the noise has changed. Like right now, there's internet. Okay, there wasn't internet 50 years ago, right? But 50 years ago, you still had to love yourself first before you can be loved. The basics have not changed.
Never will.
I think that it's gonna. I mean, people are gonna be flying in about 20 years, right? That's gonna be more noise. At the end of the day, you gotta love yourself first. Then you can be loved. You have to understand your love language first before you can love somebody else, or even see the love that somebody can give. So those basics, I don't think they will ever change. It's gonna stand the test of time.
People gonna be flying? What you heard?
Yeah, they're gonna be flying.
You been with Elon Musk?
He was just like, y'all saw the Jetsons.
I'm just saying,
But that's awesome.
It is a good
What
point.
has this done for your marriage, Elam?
I mean, it just helps me. It helped us understand just some of the basics, and again, you can get caught up in the noise. You can something as simple as understanding and the things that you watch and pay attention to. People just think I'm watching TV for entertainment. No, you are downloading information that can hurt your marriage. So no, you're not just listening to a song. You're just not watching a scandalous television show. You are looking at stuff that actually will come into your life, and so the things you watch and the things you hear, and then you expect it.
And that's why it's called TV programming,
Yeah.
radio programming, because that's exactly what it does. So if you guys need a new morning show, check out this program, Michael and Joy in the morning, because we program it with the good stuff.
The good stuff. The good stuff.
Before we go, side chicks, Pastor Patrice. What did the book do for your wedding? For your marriage,
my marriage, it made me appreciate my marriage. One thing that I love about being in a marriage is that it makes you better. If you surrender to it, if you allow that person to stretch you and to challenge you, it does make you a better person. I'm more loving, I'm more gentle, through my marriage. So that's what I got out of it.
I bet you if you walk into the U-Bar with that shirt on, girl, you will.
Yeah. She had me when she came in here. I was like, okay.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Say the
Congratulations
beautiful
to
thing.
you, and one more time,
Let
how
God
can they get the
use
book?
It's available now. Look up my name. Don't look up side chicks. You might get something you don't want on Amazon. But put in my name, Patrice Meadows, on Amazon, and you can get the book there, or go to my website, patricemeadows.com.
Josie,
Yes,
you up?
I'm up.
The
Product,
website,
I'm sorry.
the
And
website is.
I was like, yeah, she told me to stand up.
Action.
Just follow us at JociCakes. That's my IG handle, and it's JOCI Jocie. Just JociCakes. You can buy cheap eats at shopjocicakes.com, and it's available for you. Also, check us out on www.jocicakes.com.
Hey, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Check the website and the Facebook social media to talk about to see about the Power 1089 contest that's going on this weekend. And I just took your advice, Pastor Patrice. I typed side chicks into my web browser, and it said back page has been removed. Have an awesome weekend. We will see you guys on Monday. It's Michael Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com. Wake up, leg up.
It's
so
Michael and Joy. Not the back page.
That's hilarious.
Amazing show, guys. Thank you so very much for tuning in.
Oh no, we got to get a picture.
For all of the information for all of the guests, please go over to michaelandjoy.com, power1089.com, so you can get more
And it's
information.
not what y'all think.
From the top of my head to the sole of my feet, I ask that God watch over you,
Sometimes
protect
our cheek is
you,
about
and expand your territory. In Jesus'
really
name we
good.
pray. Amen. Mwah.
Side
Have a
chick
great
is about
day.
being
See you guys
loyal
later.
with your dude and some other. I can't read the book jacket, but